I mean, I'm looking at your numbers here. Ben Shapiro's got 4.4 million subscribers. Daily Wire's got 2.73. That is one avenue we haven't been able to crack. We finally, actually, after 5 years now, we got to talk to somebody from YouTube who actually works there and said, hey, you guys are shadow banned on the back end. We can work on X, Y, and Z and then try to figure this out later. How did you guys break through on that side?
Yeah. We hired an amazing team. My social video team is, I don't think there's certainly nobody else like it in conservative media, and I doubt that there's 2 or 3 in the world anywhere. They're innovative. They come to me with ideas all the time. I don't even get the ideas. They pitched, we have this new host, Brett Cooper, who's doing comment section. The show's an unbelievable smash hit. I think in her first 3 weeks doing the show, she has almost 200,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel.
You're kidding.
No, I mean, part of it's that she is the female. Pull up a picture and tell me she isn't the female Ben Shapiro. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
What's her name? What's her name again? We'll pull it up on screen.
Yeah, Brett Cooper.
Brett Cooper. Bob, pull that up.
The show's called Comment Section.
Okay.
But my point is, they came in and showed this show to me, and I did not get the show. The show is not for. It's not for men who grew up in the 90s. That's not what this show is. But I knew it was something. I can see the show and know that it's good, even though it is not for me, right? But this is what they do. They come to me with these ideas and they say, "We will make this work. Give us the resources and we will make this work." And 9 times out of 10, if I back them, it works. We have a whole philosophy in the company that I'll share with you, which is, I give this speech, this new member orientation speech once a month to all of our new employees. And I always tell them a handful, usually the same stuff. And one of the things I tell them is, hypothetically, I may one day fire you over a mistake. I can't say that I won't. It is imaginable that you could make a mistake for which there were no answer other than termination. But I don't think I've ever fired someone for a mistake. I think that what I fire people for I fire people when they can't own their mistakes. That's the most offensive thing to me in an employee. I can't tolerate an employee who believes that their past successes excuse mistakes. I can't handle people who can't take responsibility. I mean, I guess ultimately that's what I'm telling you. And so when people come in, our traffic goes down, and people come in and I say, why did the traffic go down? If you say, well, Facebook's algorithm, blah, 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 I'm just going to fire you.
Right.
Like, that's the thing I can't abide. Facebook's algorithm and YouTube's algorithm, they change constantly. The whole point of artificial intelligence is it's always changing, right? Mm-hmm. If you say, well, they're biased against us, I'm going to fire you. Of course they're biased against us. All of Silicon Valley's biased against us, some more than others. I think Facebook less than YouTube and YouTube less than Twitter, but there is incredible bias in every one of these organizations against our position. We knew that going in. Mm-hmm. The question is, what are we doing about it? And one reason that we succeed on Facebook, which offends the left so badly, and on YouTube, is because I just demand that we change and innovate at least as often as they change and innovate. When traffic goes down, I want to know why. It's not enough to say they don't like conservatives. The Daily Wire has been the #1 publisher in the world in terms of engagement for 15 straight months on Facebook.
Wow.
So yeah, Facebook hates conservatives. We're still #1. Not only that, the algorithm has changed numerous times during those 15 months. One way I can prove it is if you go back in time 15 months and look at our total engagement, it was double what our total engagement was last month. But we're still #1. Why? Well, because the New York Times engagement also went down 50%.
Right.
So in the sort of nonprofit conservative space, it's very easy to just say, Facebook took away our traffic, they hate conservatives, give us your money, and raise a quick $1 million off of small dollar donations. But I'm a for-profit company. I can only win by winning.
Yep.
So I have to know what changed, why did it change, how do we stay dominant even in this new reality?
Yeah.
And that's what my team is good at that I don't think anybody else not many other people in my movement are very good at, is taking ownership of what's happening, not resting on your past successes, and going and creating a new success. And I would say that no one in my company is better at that than my YouTube team.
Right. Yeah, you guys are, I mean, especially YouTube, you guys have, I think that's, like you said, the higher barrier to entry when it comes to a lot of this bullshit.
Yep.
Because it's their algorithm is woven into the entirety of like 80% of search traffic on Earth, right? So there's a lot more barrier to entry just to get your content seen in the first place.
And they hate everything that you're for.
Yeah,
they don't want videos that have guns in them. They don't want to have videos that have smoke in them. They don't want to have videos that have alcohol in them. They don't. So you're fighting an uphill battle. But again, you can overcome it.
Yeah, we went through all this at Black Rifle, and it was ultimately we were staying ahead of their algorithm pretty well because it wasn't that, honestly, it's not that difficult for when you're selling an actual product. It's not that difficult. When you're just trying to get eyeballs, it can be problematic. But if you're selling an actual product like that, I don't think it's that difficult. And ultimately, it led to like even at the end of the day, you can buy your way out of most of these situations, especially on Facebook. Like we were spending a couple $100,000 a month in advertising, and finally they called us. Like, hey, what can we do to help you out? I'm like, stop fucking us over.
Yeah. That's right.
And they're like, oh, well, here's some companies that are consultant companies that can help you navigate these things. I'm like, so you guys create these rules, and then you pay or you allow people to fucking consult on your behalf to help us break your own rules. This sounds a lot like attorneys.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man?
Well, I think that the success of Black Rifle Coffee in a lot of ways is similar in kind to the success of the Daily Wire, and it's that both organizations take a marketing first approach. Mm-hmm. Like, the biggest lie ever told is if you build it, they will come. Mm. No, they won't.
Yeah.
You got to tell them about it.
Eyeballs matter.
Eyeballs matter. And in conservatism in particular, and this is changing, I think, in part because of the success of Daily Wire and other organizations like PragerU who take a similar approach. But historically, it's been considered almost unseemly to market your ideas. It's like, that's the entire point of our operation, is to expose people to our values, expose people to our content. How are you supposed to do that? And people say, well, how do you make a viral video? What kind of question is that? I don't know. There's this great story. I'm trying to remember who told me this, but this kind of classic story of someone was involved in one of these big mergers when Sony acquired Columbia, and they were trying to explain to these, this Japanese electronics company how the movie industry works. And they were saying, what we do is we make, I don't know the real numbers, but, we make 25 movies a year, and, 6 of them will be bombs, and, 10 of them will be kind of break even, and 4 of them will be hits. But we make enough on the hits that it leaves us money ahead even on the bombs and the break-evens. Mm. And the head of Sony at that time said, I'm sorry, why don't you just make only hits? It's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got us.